Okay, I think the live video has started. Sorry for delay. Let's go over functional programming. Yeah. So the benefits of functional programming, or why the need for the functional programming. So for now, just go over this. This is smaller codes and then faster codes, and then we won't be diving much deep inside functional programming. I'll just give you a general idea so you can actually uh, progress with studying it on whatever source you wanted to study, and then you'll be much familiar with the concept, and that's the purpose of the course. So I'll start with a example. So let's say I have list of do I have VS Code open? Okay, I will quickly open. What the hell? My practice bullshit. Learn JPA. What's that? Oh no, this is a project. Udemy project, Java practice, and then Java DSA. My practice bullshit. I hope it should be, yep, Java DSA. Nice. And I have a functional programming as well. So this one should work. Let's open Java DSA. Select folder. Okay. So did I even practice functional programming or did I not? It looks like I did practice functional programming. Okay, I think we are good to go, and then let's start. So I'll first go over the concepts quickly, and then I will teach you few cool stuff. Okay, so we have a class, we have a function. This is a print function, takes in an integer, just prints the integer and a space. We have another function called a printer function, which takes in two integers, adds them and prints them, and then adds a space. And then what are we do? Yeah, we're taking a list of integers, and the first thing, what do we do? So first thing, whenever we do functional programming and we have a list ls, so first thing we have to do is ls dot stream. This creates a stream of the elements inside the list, and we can go over each element one by one. So this is the first step of any functional programming statement, ls dot stream. Okay, and then we have okay, I'll write down few things which you need to remember. So first is filter, which you need to remember. So filter with a small f is filter is a function which takes in uh, do I call filter a function, or I don't know what is it called. What is filter called in functional programming? Is filter a function or something else? Filter in functional programming, filter is a higher order function. Okay, what is higher order function? A higher order function is a function that takes one or more functions as argument or returns a function as its result. Okay, so filter is not only a function, it's a higher order function. What does a higher order function do? It takes function as an argument and returns a function as its result. So how does a filter work? So take a collection like array, applies predicate function to each element of the collection. Applies predicate, I'll explain you predicate function in a moment. For now, just but it up. Predicate function I'll explain in a moment. Returns a new collection and all that bullshit. Let's see an example in Java. Example in Java. So Java, the filter method is used with streams to, okay, fine. So they have a list of numbers, okay, and they're doing numbers dot stream dot filter, and what do you see over here? N dash n modulo 2 equals 0. Okay, so I will quickly explain you what this is doing. For now, sorry, uh, yeah, for now, see, this is for now, just assume this is a function. What does it do? It takes n as argument and then does n modulo 2 check. Better I show you on the editor. Language is Java. Class teaching functional public stack. Okay, okay. Class teaching functional public static void main string args and then list of integer. Okay, I already copied everything, right? Yes. Okay, so I have a list of numbers and then I am trying to get even numbers. Okay, so what do I do? So list of even numbers equals to numbers dot stream filter, and then okay, so I'll explain this line to you. This line. So this line is nothing but a function which takes in n and then return n modulo 2 equals 0. That's what this does. I'll have to put an arrow here. Okay, syntax error, invalid, no quick fixes. have to wait 1 more minute for me. X, and then okay, I have to put this in here. Okay, and then a semicolon over here. Okay, so what is this? This is just a function which takes in integer n. This is argument function argument. So this is a function argument. It takes in n and returns if n modulo 2 equals 0. I think this is clear. If n is even, then it returns true. If n is odd, then it returns false. This is what this does. So you can see number dot stream filter, and this is filter is taking a function, and then we do collectors dot to list. Now let's see, let's print sorry, system, what the hell, system dot out dot println even numbers. Let's run this. One error. What's the error? Okay, so you can see that it printed all the even numbers. So what did we do exactly? We did numbers. Just remember this step: numbers dot stream, and then we write filter. And in filter, we have to give a function which actually returns true or false. Okay, so filter accepts a function which returns true or false, boolean value, and based on that, it does the filter operation. Okay. So first thing about filter, I'll just write it down. I hope. So filter accepts a function which returns a boolean value. And based on that, the functional our Java will filter the elements. Okay, so ls.stream.filter. So just now I showed you how to add a function based on which we can filter. Just now I added, right? Yeah. So see, this function, based on this we can filter. So how to remember how to write the function? Okay, so how do you normally write a function? So let's say you are writing a function. How will you write? Boolean func takes in an integer and then returns x modulo 2 equals 0. So what functional programming says that remove this return type. Okay, remove this return type. What do we get? Remove the return type first. Okay, then it says remove the function name as well, and then it says even the parameter type is not important, and then we get this, which is fine, which is what I wrote here. We do need to add a arrow, and then we can remove the function return type, function name, everything. Those just consume our time. And then it goes even one step further, and it says you can even do this. You can even remove this return, and it knows that it has to return this. So this is what we can do, and we don't even need this parenthesis if we have just one parameter. So that's all we need to do. So the function is written in a very small, a very precise manner, and it doesn't consume much space. It's readable, and this is the concept called this is called lambda functions. Okay. hmm So let's go over something here as well. So see, I have a function called print, which just prints takes an element, prints that. I have a function printer which takes in two elements and prints the sum of those with a space. Then see, we have a list of integers. What we do is list.stream.filter, and then in filter I told you we have to give a function which returns a boolean, right? Filter, we have to give a function which returns a boolean. So I say x dash returns x modulo 2 equals 1. So it does the same thing which I told you, checks for odd value, and then at the end we do have to do, see, for here till here when we do stream, all the elements are streamed, then we added filter which is applied on all the elements, and then now for each element I need to do something. So for each takes a function which does not return anything. This function which does not return anything is called a consumer function. Consumer function is a function which does not return anything. But you see how we have written. Have we written the function over here? Is this a function? Is this a function without the parenthesis? This is not a function. This is a reference to the function print. So in the system.out package we have this function println. So we write system.out as the package, and then the semicolon which tells us this is the scope, right? I mean this println function belongs to this system.out, and then we just write println. So this function is used and it will print all the odd elements. Okay, system.out.println 00099. Okay, this is okay. Now let's do something new, so we can even do ls. Okay, let's print the result for this. So see, we have printed all the odd elements using this println, so these are all on different lines. and then we go over system.out.println. Here's my console. Okay, fine. Okay, so let's do this. What is this? ls.stream for each functional print. Okay, now we have written our own function print, which takes integer, prints the integer, and then what we can do is how to use this function. Okay, so we use this function in this way: ls.stream.for each. So what we do, we can do something like this: numbers dot stream dot for each, and then we can write our custom function. Let's say void printer animation printer personal. This takes integer x, and then system dot out dot print len x x plus it prints this, a happy face. Now let's use this function. Okay, so how do I use this function? So for using this function, I have to say that in teaching functional, I have this function called printer personal, and that's it. Numbers.stream, and then for each I do this. Cannot make static reference. Okay, so this is static, so I'll have to put a static over here. Sorry, static void. What is static, by the way? I think topic for our next class. Static. Okay, let's run this. What the fuck, dude? Why is it not running this one? Run code. I think I know. Public static void main. Okay, I have an error. Illegal character. Let's just clear this once. Ah 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 ah. Clear output. Run it. Okay. What's the error? What's the error? This is the error. These are all the error lines. Still there's some error. Interface enum, and this is on line 1. What's there in line 1? There's nothing. Oh, boolean function int x, which I've already commented out. This asshole still thinks I haven't commented that out. I am not sure what actually went wrong. I'll just remove this. I'll quickly save it, and then I'll run it. Okay, it's printing. So what did we wanted it to print? So it's using our function, which is printing a smiley face after each number. See, so that's how we use for each. For each takes a consumer function reference, not a function itself, but a reference. What's a consumer function? A consumer function is something which does not return anything, which does something but does not return anything. Okay, so what did we learn till now? So two things we learned. Filter. When we use filter, we have to pass a argument, pass as argument a function which returns a boolean value. And then what did we learn now? We learned about for each. For each. For each, this as a argument we pass a function reference which is a consumer. What is a consumer function? Which does not, which takes a parameter, but does not return anything. Filter, pass an argument a function which returns boolean, passes argument a function. Okay, this is fine, filter is fine, for each is fine. Let's go. So just now we learned this. For each we can pass actually here as well you cannot pass a function. This is a function reference. If you are writing a lambda expression, then that is fine, or lambda expression. But otherwise, if you want to pass a function, you have to pass function reference, similar to the one we did here. I can show a quick example if you want me to. So I'll write a function. Okay, let's write a function here. Static void. Don't get fixated on the static part. This I'm going to explain later. Find events int x, and then what does it do? Okay, this should be not void. This is a boolean function. So what do? We return x modulo 2 equals 0. Okay, I see now. Okay, what can we do over here? We can just remove this and we can write teaching functional class has this function called find events, which we can use, right? So no need to write all this function, and let's just print this even numbers. Let's see what happens. And you can see the output is 2 4 6 8 10, or it may be the output from the previous run, you never know. And then we go back. Just kidding, it's correct output. Okay, we printed all the even numbers. I don't know if I do. Okay, uh, so this is done, and then let's go over okay, for each. So these are the way using lambda expressions. ls dot stream dot for each. So your first exercise, I'll tell you what is your first exercise. Okay, so you have to print all the odd numbers. You can pause this video, solve it by yourself, and then come back to me. Tick 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 tick, whatever, and then I have this as the solution. So nothing new, nothing fancy. ls.stream, and then I put filter, and then use a lambda expression x dash x modulo 2 equals 1 dot for each, and then it's very simple. So what did I do? Numbers dot stream first, and then for each I'm doing x modulo 2 equals 1 equals 1, and then dot uh, uh, sorry, this is not for each, this should be filter, right? As I told, filter. And then for each I need to print them, right? System dot out has this function called print, which we're going to use. Makes sense? Sorry, this is a function reference. So let's run this and check. So we can see all the odd numbers printed over here, right? Okay. So in for each, let's say I don't want to use this, what can I do? I can just use another lambda expression. I can use x dash system dot out dot println, and then x, I needed a comma. That's it. So this way also I can do, as this is consumer function, and you can see all the numbers getting printed in line. That's fine, I guess. Let's go over another concept, which is the second exercise. So the second exercise for you is, we have a list of strings, whatever the list, and then the exercise is to print this list. I think you can solve it very quickly. I'll give you some time, you can pause this video, you can solve that, and then I'll go over the solution. So this is stream, and then for each, and then we do print. The third exercise is to print whichever string contains the substring spring. Print whichever string contains the substring spring. So what do we have to do? We have to use the filter, and in the filter we can use this x dash x dot contains spring, and then that's it. And the fourth exercise is to print whichever string is greater equals to 4. I think that's also fairly simple, you can do that.